Coast 500. It's a route. It's the same as your Route 66.
Okay.
It's in order to bring, to market outside to bring people to Scotland. It's worked. It's overworked, and unfortunately, we don't quite have all the infrastructure. But what has happened is that many people come here and only know about Skye on the west coast, or only know about John O'Groats on the northeast coast, but they don't know about everything else. And so subsequently, you read all these groups of people trying to find things to do or where to go, and they all go blah blah blah. The crunch points, and then what happens is when they've finished and they've taken their photographs, they post them up there, and all of them are saying, "Wish we knew about this. If only someone had told us that existed, we would have stayed another 2 weeks, or we would have stayed 14 days instead of 7." And then so subsequently, I realized that basically, unless you have got the guidebook from my grandfather's bookshelf, which is now out of print, and you can't buy, and you don't know where to get, and unless you know unless you knew the person who's got access to the book, you don't have access to that information. So it's basically about pulling all that information back together again. It started off with just looking on the North Coast, and it was just an idea to tell people when businesses were open, or what they existed, or where's the castle to look at, what kind of flower you're interested in, your 5-year-old kid or your 14-year-old kid, where can it go and do a zip line, that kind of stuff. And that's where it started. And then we've had lockdown, how many times we've had lockdown.
Right.
And I realized that the information is still important, because hopefully some of those businesses will reopen. Many of them sadly won't reopen, because there's without tourism they haven't got a business. And I realized that there must be a way to show people what's here without them actually having to come here. And virtual reality and virtual tours is the way forward. So yeah, we're integrating it basically.
So you're starting from Scotland and working your way out, and then and right now, like I said, is the virtual tour, and then you're kind of setting the infrastructure so that when you get the ability to travel, and so it's going to be a combination like a travels guide for the some of the best kept secrets, or off the beaten path, or that kind of thing. Yeah, and
you'll get to it will be useful as a directory to a local who's looking to find out what time the post office is open. But it will be useful to an overseas traveller to go, actually, I want to go and eat in that restaurant, or I want to go and stay in the hotel, because now we can actually online have a look at it before we come, or before we book.
Claire, you want to check with their Wi-Fi with Michael Darden? I'm sure they may not need it, but just in case. And then, so what's your business model then, as far as the directory?
So the businesses will become members. They'll then pay to have their virtual tour made, and it's then an open and free directory for people to get in.
Cool. Well, that concludes my line of questioning.
Right.
So,
I'm gonna. So this is, since we got the UK. Looks like Dave joined us. So welcome. We had the UK and the US here. I'm gonna do this one. I'll play this for you. It's pretty funny here. Let me load this one. You guys see the screen here? I guess it's gray right now. It's just not loading very fast. But once I pull it up here, so this was the Star Wars, Star Trek crossover. It's Mark Hamill and Patrick Stewart. It's like an Uber Eats commercial. But it they're like going back and forth between the English and British side here, but hopefully it'll come up. It isn't like recording video on the webinar and playing video. Actually, I can play it inside. I forgot. Hold on a second.
Ryan, while that's loading, I was thinking last week, if it's on the agenda, but not for today, but I'll let that play if it's ready. Yeah.
Well, let me try to do it inside of the webinar. Go ahead. What was your question?
I was just gonna say, like, I thought the Wednesday webinar from a couple weeks ago was an intriguing subject matter about was it not exit strategy, but retain action steps for a member that's considering cancellation. And they had the 3 protocol steps in place, and then I sent you the link to that podcast about membership.
I'm trying to remember.
I mean, I think, what did they call it? There was a specific.
What was the question? I'm trying to remember what was on it, but
was that in last week's one? Was it?
Yeah, Toby, it was in Brilliant Directories in their Wednesday webinar, like a week or 2 weeks ago, where they outlined the 3 steps for member retention. But if a member's submits a cancellation request, you just exit survey. That's what they call it, is an exit survey process. So just 3 questions, but also one, I guess it was like.
Oh, we did try to do it. We did try to do it last week. It didn't work.
Yeah. So I mean, whenever it fits into your schedule, I'd love to do a deeper dive into that, because they kind of jumped over some things pretty fast. And then ironically, like I said, I listened to a podcast that's out of Australia. And if you're in the membership business, it's something Toby or Ryan, you may make a note as well. But it's just called the Membership Guys, I think is the name of his podcast. Yep. But then he runs a membership academy. It's very robust, and he does every 2 weeks. He's been doing it for years, and it's unrelated to Brilliant Directories, but it's great content, and there's always nuggets in there. But ironically, like I said, or coincidentally, the same week he released his podcast was the same week that Jason was talking about exit strategy, and the 3 principles were pretty universal. Of like, what was it?
Yeah, it was. That's what it was. I was going to comment how they're actually the stuff that they went over on theirs.
Right,
I'm sure they got almost the same thing.
Almost it's almost like was BD barring. Did they listen to that podcast and then take notes or whatever? Because it was, it's some universal principles, but it was almost oddly, verbatim almost, which was good in a sense.
All right, well, it's going to load here, so I'll let this play once it loads here.
Yeah.
Maybe. Man, I don't know what's up with YouTube today. If you guys search YouTube of your own accord there, if you want, just type in Mark Hamill and Patrick Stewart. I'm sure it'll come up. They're pretty funny. UK to US distinctions there. But one of the cricket, I was like a base. They were like going into a fight in the alley or whatever. And Mark Hamill was hitting his baseball bat in his hands, like he was going to do a beat down, And then Patrick Stewart had his cricket paddle in his hands. It's funny, but they're kind of juxtapositioning all the U.S. sayings, vice British sayings, etc. So,
and I think I might have seen this as a TV.
I'll take a rain check on that, but anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, it was. Oh, here we go.
Tonight, I'll be eating a veggie cheeseburger on ciabatta. No tomatoes. Tonight, I'll be eating 4 cheese tortellini with extra. So it's come to this. Thank you. Robert, careful, how old Daddy's not here to save you. Oh, I am my daddy. Wait, what? Tonight, I'll be eating roasted cauliflower tacos with spicy chipotle sauce. Thank you. Oh, God! I wasn't ready! You want cheese to go with that wine? Tonight, I'll be eating chicken tikka masala with garlic now. Cheers. I win again. Patrick. That's Sir Patrick.
That's pretty funny. I think they had
one actually didn't have the cricket one in there for some reason. The one I was trying to show, it didn't actually have it in there. So
I think they misspelled wine. I think they meant to spell it with a WH or whatever. Yeah.
Well, that was I think the new, which YouTube now has a transcription thing on there, which it'll auto transcript, and you can turn that on. You can actually download that in YouTube now as well. So,
yeah, cool.
I think it's just my computer today is maybe a little bit slow. I'm not sure why. All right. So, did you anybody have any general questions? I know Toby, you were working some stuff for his, but any other stuff from the last week? Any issues with BD? Anything anybody has a question on? Dave, if you want to jump in, audio if you want. But any general questions that I can help anybody with or go over real quick before I get into topic du jour?
Yeah, Toby or Dave, you guys got anything or?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. I had probably more of a kind of revisiting a question we had before, Ryan, about like including. I was just trying to, recall where we left off with. Right now, by default, we have SoundCloud for our audio. When people add audio.
Yeah.
But do you remember where we left off or what our options were? Because not everybody's on SoundCloud. So if they just want to post their trailer for their podcast, because we're not trying to have them import their RSS feed, and it's not a directory of, their whole 400 episodes of all their podcasts. We want to be able to just have them do a soundbite, like a trailer saying, hey, I'm Ryan Sullivan. I do a podcast on rocket ships. If you're in the rocket ship business, I'd be a great guest for you, or vice versa, right?
Is it like a podcast link or something, or?
Well, the challenge is that, there's as many hosting platforms as there are podcasters, so like if I have a podcast and all my content's on Libsyn, I want to be able to just click a button and have my Libsyn, but I don't want them loading 500 episodes. I want them just to pull one, they call it a trailer. And a lot of podcasters are now doing this because if I just land on your profile and I go, oh, Ryan's content looks good. He's talking about, financial planning and financial wizardry and, planning your retirement. And that's a subject matter that's of interest to me, or that I would be a good guest on that show. But if you list your last 20 episodes or 200, if I just put the play button on your most recent episode, you could be talking off the rails or something. I don't want to listen to a whole hour, right? So I want to be able to just listen to, hey, this is Ryan. I'm a financial expert. I teach people how to work smart, save money smart. And, that's why you'd want to be a guest, right? But the problem is yours is on Libsyn. Toby's is on, SoundCloud. I'm on, what do you call Spreaker? One other person's on Spotify.
Right.
Do we try to, pick the top 10 ones and say, take your Libsyn podcast that's already produced and just insert Libsyn here? Or there's a way we could have like just an upload button, people upload typically when they upload a video, they're not really uploading an MP4 file. They're actually just doing a link to YouTube or to Vimeo. So, but could we, I'm just trying to think, not the best workaround, but the simplest way, instead of saying, let's do this, but what is the easiest way? Can we just have a link that says upload your MP3 file here, and it'll just start playing, have an audio bar that will just start playing? Or is it easier to say, pick one of these platforms? But and the other challenge, like with SoundCloud, which is the default, which is pretty good, and it's relatively easy for anybody can create a free SoundCloud account, and it's free for up to like 5 hours of content or something like that. But and I can show you, like on our site, I have uploaded SoundCloud. Actually, this is one very specific question. Can you either just go to my site? You really have to log into anything, but just go to the directory, and I'll show you the two pieces I'm talking about. Because I don't know if other directories are loading audio. I know everybody loads video, but I don't know if there's an application for Toby or David or some of the other guys to load audio. But and because the other part of this,
see the screen now?
Yeah, I can see the screen. So just to our homepage, and I'll show you the search you want to search for is Pro Business Channel. And what I like, we put the search bar back in there because that was kind of a pain. Just as the directory owner, there's no way for me to kind of find members easily unless I go into my admin and everything else. So it should be 3 words or 2 words, Pro Business. If you make them 2 words, I don't know if it'll search by that or not.
Okay.
That's 1 word. You don't have to put channel in there.
Find out.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just want to go to that.
Yes, there it is. Yeah, the resource one. Yeah, view that listing. Because the other part of the question is how it loads on the site. So I don't want the audio at the very top. And I'm one of the, because we haven't really released the audio. I took the SoundCloud feature off of everybody's accounts. So see how that's the first thing it loads. Right. I want it. Which might not be bad for a podcaster because, and if I visit there, if I'm going to your site and I'm thinking about, but if you click on the SoundCloud link, the only challenge with that is it'll start to play the SoundCloud, but there's a button. If they hit the wrong button, it'll actually leave the site and send them off to SoundCloud. And obviously that's the last thing I want to have happen.
So let me swap back to let me pull something up real quick and show you what I've done with another site. One of the I guess there's a couple options. The upload thing in BD is a little tricky normally because it doesn't really have a very good upload feature, if that makes sense. So usually adding something in if there's already an embedded player that will play a podcast is generally better. And so,
right.
So for everybody, the audio item that mentions in there only has SoundCloud in there, and it just like
right.
the video normally just says YouTube or Vimeo. That it only has that one type. So let me just show you what I've done on it here, just as an example. And so you would just add it to a new post type. For instance, this is the podcast post type, right? Where you make a new podcast post type, it's basically like an article. You can add an image, title or whatever. This one's actually using the blog post type. Right. But you just add a post embedded
the source code
box in here, and you have to make sure there's most of these are. So this one we've got to work for Buzzsprout, Spotify,
Podbean, and Anchor. Yeah.
So all you have to do is put the embed post code in there, and then it'll show up. So for example, let me just go to the podcast one here. I think there's already one in here, just to kind of demo this one of what it would look like.
And I can put a embedded code in the chat. You can copy and paste in there from like our Podbean or.
Yeah, but this is what it looks like. So after you have the image there for whatever you're casting in,
it looks like,
and then I'll add the.
Yeah, looks like that's Buzzsprout. Yeah,
it's Buzzsprout in here under there, and then obviously right. So that's what it would look like, and what I've done for some other clients, and then
that looks awesome. Well, that kind of answers the question.
So then you could have different.
Now this is cool where they have to listen to the Sugar Show with their other platforms. How do you integrate that, or is that part of the Buzzsprout embedded? It carries it.
No,
over?
it's just a sidebar stuff you add in there. So you just make a widget with the sidebar and put that in the side. So you can do whichever 3 you want. Here's another. Pull up Peter's site here as well.
I love that one. What was that called? What was the name of that website? The Sugar
Network.
The Sugar. So that's almost verbatim. I mean, we don't have to reinvent the wheel.
To share that for her.
Sugar.
No, it works pretty
Sugar.
good. There's a couple of them that require a particular JavaScript script code that you need to put in the header on. But for those, I think that are listed on there, those natively without having to do that, and you can just add the embed code.
So, because I've seen his before, but tell me again real quick. It was called the Sugar what?
Network.
Oh, the network. Okay.
The Sugar Network. So here's a sidebar. So here's the same thing. Only he doesn't have iHeartRadio. He's got Google Podcasts, right? But similar thing. But you would just pre-program that, put it in a widget, and put it in the sidebar so people could join. And then we added his up on the header as well, so in the footer, so they're always there if you want to subscribe to that. But so he's doing the same thing for his. And his is obviously just his podcast, but we've got the same thing. I think he's using Lisbon, I think, for his execution. So he just use, I think, let me see maybe, I don't know if you can tell just by looking at it. Yeah, I think
so. I'm on the Sugar Network, but I'm trying to figure, where do I find her podcast or content? Where would I find an audio file on here?
I don't know if we've got that live. Just go to /podcast. I'm trying to think if some good feedback for her. I don't know if we were linking to it yet or if she's still building these. But
I think you just showed
podcast.
I see. The add podcast.
So I'm not sure which one this one is. Again, this one may be a different version of this one's
404. And maybe just certain members.
No, podcasts.
With a
well,
plural?
I mean, there is some permission stuff in here as well. I am logged in, so maybe you can't get into it if you're not logged in. So.
Oh, it's working now. So it was plural with an S at the end of podcast, plural. Yeah. Okay. So this is real helpful.
But yeah, take a look at that implementation, but that's how it works pretty good.
So they have it set up as a network because another topic I'm working at kind of creating a network kind of similar to this for Podcasting for Good, which we're going to make that our official 501c3 or nonprofit is actually going to be under that umbrella. And we're going to do kind of what she has for the Sugar Network. So we're going to have like a network just for nonprofits to tell their story. And we're going to lead obviously with ours with the Podcast World Tour. But anybody else in the nonprofit space, we're going to feature them. And I'm thinking we'll just build it like you did the partners page. So it would just have the pages just have a series of they call podcast cover art, like their logo. And when you click on, so we just one link on their top of the page will be the Podcasting for Good. And then when you click on it, it'll be like just, the whole page filled with their, podcast cover art, their images, like a, what do you call it, thumbnail or whatever. When you click on it, then it will go to within the directory a separate page of just their podcast, just their their content, or it will actually go to their member profile, and their member profile will have their story about their nonprofit, and then links you can listen to their podcast or go to their podcast thing. So all right, well, probably too much time on that, but that was really helpful. If you can make a note, I'm going to make a note in Aura as well. So what we want to do is kind of replicate a combination of the Sugar Network and what's the other guys again? I forget.
Talking Health Tech.
Talking Health Tech. Yeah, I have it stored in my favorites here. And then the last question, Ryan, and we'll move on.
Yeah, hold on, Toby.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to check that this was being
It is being recorded, yes.
Oh,
Okay, thanks.
okay. So the last question I had, and we move on, was if you're back on my page with the Pro Business channel, the way it lays out, how do we move? So not the first thing they see is, because it should start out with like the about me, contact information, what have you. Like right there our subtitle, and then the about me and contact information, and below that is the videos, or below that is the blogs. But below that, I mean, how do we move the audio? Yeah, there. See, there's our videos. So how do we move?
Well, I mean, how do you move the audio down?
Yeah.
So where you need to go into that.
I mean, I tried in the admin, and when you do the posting options, it's just listed in the preset order that they have them. And
no, so you need to go to the edit post settings. So content, edit post settings.
Okay.
And I think I won't change anything on here, but content, edit post settings, and then inside of there, let's say it was the we're doing the podcast, right? So go into that, whatever one you want to move down, and inside of there, it'll have the profile page design. Right here, it says profile page tab order. So although it's not in tabs, basically removing the tabs, it's in the same order. So instead of, if you have the tabs turned off, it becomes the 1 through 20, sections basically, as opposed to tabs. But you just want to move that one down. Yours is probably number 1 for audio. You just want to move that down to 4, wherever the order you want it.
Okay.
So unfortunately, there's not a setting where you go into there for the listings and go like drag and drop the post.
That's what I was looking for.
In an order. You have to go into each one of those and change the tab order preference.
Yeah, because I was surfing around there and I couldn't quite figure out how to manipulate that. So now I'm seeing it, the visual. I was on edit the membership plans and then looking at post publishings. But those are preset. So I would go to content, manage, edit post settings.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I can. And then in the property would be, this is going to be for the audio.
Yeah, you want to do audio. Again, you may have it renamed. So I think everybody who's watching probably knows this, but you can rename or clone or repurpose different post types.
Yeah.
So,
you
want to be very careful when you guys are cloning stuff or renaming stuff. Make sure you know what that used to be, right? Or what you named it, because sometimes it can get a little bit confusing. But
yeah, mine was labeled. I was labeled by default SoundCloud, but then it came up plural, so I took the plural off there and changed it. SoundCloud. So I'm under profile tab order, says 0 and number of posts 10. So I need to move the 0 down.
Yeah, make it a bigger number.
Okay, meaning 0 would be the top of the page.
Correct. Yep.
Okay, so I just did it in real time, and so I should update across the board, and it looks like it did. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, so if you refresh the that one link you're on the member for Pro Business channel, I just updated it in real time. So now it's moving instead of the first thing you see.
Oops, sorry. I didn't realize I was doing the screen. All right. Oh,
hold on just a second.
Just a second. Oh, is that you?
Yeah, that was
all right.
me.
So there we go. So you changed it down. I just changed the order there, and it moved it down.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the idea, is that there would only be one audio kind of trailer that people can do multiple videos, but now the audio just appears, and we would label it as, here's a soundbite or a trailer for my podcast, and it's the first thing, and then only one of those. We're not doing the RSS feed for all of their content. We'd label that, podcast teaser or trailer. They listen to, then have 30 seconds of what my podcast is about, and then they move on if I have videos or blogs or whatever.
So what you'd want to watch out for is just the number of those that you allow them to do, because obviously if they post another one of those, it's going to show up in the list, right? So you limit it to one, right, where they can only post one of those, and then that'll take care of that. Where as soon as they fill it in their one, it's done, right, and they can't post anymore. So yeah.
Cool. Okay, that concludes my line of questioning. Now on to the regular scheduled program already in progress.
All right. All right, so let me switch over to our slides. Everybody get on that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so welcome to Directory Webinar number 29. Today we're going to be going over sell something with your cart funnels. And I emphasize sell something, right? Because you can generally, for anybody who has a directory, other than the directory, they probably have something else that they could sell or want to sell, whether it's merch or access to particular stuff or extra advertising on their Facebook or Instagram page, whatever it is. Everybody probably has something that they want to sell other than the membership. So that's some of the stuff that we're going to talk about today. And we went over last couple of weeks how the funnels worked, a general overview of the cart funnels. This is what we talked about last week, of a typical landing page and a funnel sequence, coming from the lead capture page to a sales page to a checkout page, maybe an upsell or two, depending on how you have that set up, and then an ultimate thank you page. And then it has some accoutrement for each section, right? If they buy, you can send them emails with particular content. But this one that we went over last week, this is a sales or a cart funnel, right, that you would normally see. Now, you can do all sorts of funnels for all sorts of different things, and we'll go over those coming up here. And let me just silence everybody real quick, just to make sure. And again, if anybody wants to jump in on the call, feel free to unmute yourself again in a little bit. But this is a general cart funnel, and we went over this last week, and this is generally what you would even see for your own director, right, for selling the membership. We're going to go over some additional stuff today that you may not have thought about, some other things that you can do with your BD site. And again, if we have any questions on how to do that in your BD site, we can go over that. Last week, again, on webinar 28, we did build this real time where we built out a BD funnel. It's a little bit, and I'll be honest, a little bit more.
My audio on mute. Let me change my screen here too.
Yeah, I've got you on mute. Or I did.
What's that? You got me on mute?
I did, yeah.
You guys still here? Yeah, but I muted my audio and then he's still hearing me.
Hold on. Let me mute you again. Okay, now you're off. So the way that we can do that is in BD. You can do it in BD. We did that on number 28, and you can go rewatch that again if you want. But it is a little bit harder than a normal funnel software, right? That's built to do it, but it does have the capability and a lot of flexibility in there for you to do that in BD, and we can go over some of that if you guys have any questions. But today we're going to go over the cart funnel. And again, you want to sell, maybe a product, and we'll talk about some different options. We can talk about maybe some stuff that you guys are thinking of, or some additional questions on maybe how to or what you could do for your different directories. And we talked about this on the webinar Wednesday with Jason on episode 104. I don't know if they have that posted yet, but it's episode 104 with BD. And talked about some of the monetization things that you can do for your directory and some of the monetization options that we provided in there. As long as you can sell that type of thing, you can use some of these use cases or processes to help you do that. And so we went over last week the actual YouTube video on the click funnels, and they're actually like these cute little videos that are pretty funny. And I'm going to play this one for us today on the sales funnel or the cart funnel, and I'll just use this as an opening salvo here on what we are looking to potentially do for a cart funnel. So I'll go ahead and play that for you guys.
Perfect, because today we're discussing a brand endorsement from a Kardashian and a cart funnel. There will be an emphasis on the latter strategy. Right now, any age in any industry could easily launch, from jewelry to sports apparel to even toilet spray. And with each success in their footsteps, and unfortunately, statistically, most will fail. But now, the reason why so many of these businesses fail is simple. Their online stores aren't to sell. They have no salespeople, metaphorically speaking. Basically, e-commerce stores are designed for first-level information. They are a catalog, or to a new customer, they're a brochure. For returning customers who want to explore trusted options, but for new customers, you may run into this problem. Someone views your ads. They say, that looks awesome, and click on it, which takes them to your site. They look around and excitedly add a bunch of things to their cart. Oh, that's cool. That's cool too. There are dozens of different products and pages to explore, and finally, when they go to checkout and they see the total, they panic. It's expensive. It's also something they've never tried. So how do they know if they're going to like it? So many questions. And what happens? Most of the time they fail, or your pretty site becomes a tab, a ticking time bomb. This is what we call cart abandonment. And it's the problem a cart funnel is able to solve. So the cart funnel usually has 4 pages. A sales page, 2 upsell pages, and a thank you page. On the sales page, the best practice is to start with your best-selling, most talked about, most effective single product that most of your customers will want. Not the most expensive, not the newest, not your personal preference, the best selling product. But don't just sell it by itself. That's when people start to price shop. Take that product and turn it into an offer. Create a bundle or give a discount that is exclusive to the funnel. The copy could, well, showcasing that this product is the solution, with social proof, educational content, and CTA buttons that go beyond the typical buy now. Some contenders might best life. Send me this special deal, or the classic chicka chicka yeah, chicka yeah. What that does is make it into something other than a commodity. It's an irresistible offer they can't. But the most important element of the cart funnel is what we call the 2-step order form. The psychology behind the 2-step order form is simple and powerful. You have them fill out their shipping information first. This step allows them to make a micro commitment and naturally leads to filling out the rest of the form and purchasing the offer. So make sure you have one on your page. Another pretty amazing feature form is something we call an order form bump. Picture this. You're in a grocery store at the checkout. What do you see? Kit Kats, Tic Tacs, and other impulse buys you rarely think twice about. But these are order bumps. And it goes right before they're able to check out. So for you could offer your customers rushed shipping or other complimentary products. I mean, whatever it is, keep it to explain it, the less it will convert. At this point, your customers are in. They're excited and all ready for a cute thank you page with shipping info, but no, they're going to land on your first upsell page. Here, you might be tempted to sell one of your other best-selling products first. However, we'd recommend doing something different, unexpected. Offer them more of the same thing. Say, wait, grab 1 more, or 2, or 10 at a discount. Now they have the option to buy in bulk, and the offer just keeps getting sweeter, and you don't even name the product again, and they already know what it is. So they stock up for themselves, for a friend, for a baby gift, or not. It's their choice. After they decide, you then take them to your second upsell. This should be different, but complementary to what your first offer was. Like if you sold supplements, maybe it's a juice cleanse. Photography equipment, well, here is a photography mastermind. If you sold frozen pizza, here's some pineapple. You got a problem, let me know in the comments, right? You can do as many of these upsells or downsells as you like, but we'd recommend having no more than 1 or 2 so as to not overwhelm your customer. And finally, the thank you page. You'll have the basic information here, a personal thank you, shipping information, how to get customer service, etc. But that's not all. Here, you can create an offer wall. What is an offer wall? Well, it's something that gives people a glimpse into your online store by showcasing a bunch of the other products you sell or lead them to other funnels. But overall, the offer wall just lets people know that you have a store and that there's plenty more to come back to after they've tried your products. And those are the pages. Let's look at a few examples from e-commerce businesses that implemented the cart funnel. This is Jamie Cross. She created a soap company. She has the traditional website of her products, but the way she grew to serving hundreds of thousands of customers was using a funnel to offer ours. Her order form bump is for rushed shipping. She then upsells more of the same thing at a bulk price and then upsells a face lotion bar at a discount. Soxy, the sock store, offers a discount on one pair of awesome socks, then upsells to more of the same socks at a discount. Another upsells offers a mystery bundle of socks. Another example is Colin Wayne over at Redline Steel. They're a company that makes wall art out of steel. His funnel features limited time offers for holidays or other occasions. But from there, he upsells the complete art set, the chance to order one for a friend, and finally, one of his other best. So there it is, the cart funnel. Much higher. Customer satisfaction, much higher. And chances of them returning to your full e-commerce store now that they've tried something, highest it's ever been. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification for any future videos.
Okay, so we kind of talked about this a little bit last week, but this the stuff that we're talking about here for the brilliant directories, you may be looking at it going, well, I don't have that stuff, or why would I use that for my directory? Just think about the concepts in there real quick, and then think about how you guys normally do your directory. So for example, let's think about the shopping cart, right? The join page. Let me just go to mine real quick, and I'll just show it to you. What we normally do is everybody has all of their, their plans on there, right? What if you just had a very focused sales page that only sold your best, package on the join page, and then you basically tried to upgrade them at a later point, right? Maybe we talked before about analysis by paralysis, when you have so many different options in there. For a particular thing to do, and they don't know which one to click, and it just becomes harder and harder, right? So, what if you only had one, your focused one that you did, and then you have the upsell or the other stuff on the page after they click? So that's an option that you can think about. The offer and bundle and discount, we kind of talked about. Most times when people click, if you go to your membership plans, there is an option inside of your BD website there where you can divert them after they do that initial sale, where they can go to another web page. And a lot of us don't have that set up where we can send them to another offer. So let's go and look at one here. You just go to your particular plan. You would click edit on the plan, and you would go in there and then change the settings on where they're going to go after they pay for that particular plan. So it's going to be in the sign up section, and it's down here in the sign up settings. It's going to say redirect after sign up. And by default, everybody's directory is going to be set up here with account home. And all that is it just goes to their dashboard. And so if you guys don't change this to something other than the initial sign-up page, you're missing out on a potential upsell, or to tell them about another product or another service that you do, or maybe tell them why they should upgrade. So this is the offer, bundle, or discount piece, right? That may be missing. That if they want to, maybe they only bought for a month, but let's say you want to get them on here and say, hey, you guys can change your membership to an annual. And we're going to give you a 20% discount if you do it for annual, and maybe hook them in for the entire year instead of just having them do it for a month. So there's a lot of offers, bundles, or discounts that you can kind of do. Offer up you can put your own stuff, referral stuff on there, where like, hey, send this to a friend. Any of those viral marketing stuff, you can embed something in that page where you can send somebody else a coupon code, right? And then maybe they get something else in return. Or maybe you just give them a coupon on the page there, say, hey, thank you for subscribing. By being a loyal customer, here's a 10% off coupon for any of your friends, or 20% coupon, whatever you want, and then have them send that coupon code to somebody else that they can then use to sign up. So there's, a myriad of things that you can do. It's not necessarily just like a traditional sales funnel like you saw there, but it's stuff that you guys can do as a follow-on service on the membership. And then, again, you can bump different things we talked about last week where you could maybe link to a digital download post type if you have that add-on. Maybe they bought the membership, but you also sell some counseling services, or you also sell marketing services for your niche. Whatever that is, you could then link to that download item, right, on that page where you're maybe linking to a digital download item. So let's say after they check out, then I am sending them to maybe a customization that I do, right? And say, now that you have your directory, now that you have this set up, why don't you consider the following customizations that you may want to do on your page? And so just like that wall of product stuff, like if you're selling other stuff as digital products on your website, then maybe you just links to them, and it just kind of is a wall of products where if they saw this, they're like, oh yeah, well, I'd love to have that, and then they can just kind of check out. One thing that the BD system does is it kind of limits it to one at a time, so it's not like a real shopping cart. And we're going to talk about some of those things today where there's some opportunity there to be able to do other things with other shopping carts that you can't do in BD, or just some other options you may want to think about if you're thinking about a cart funnel for another object or service that you have for your site. If BD is not going to, if you're not going to be able to get there with using the BD principles. So again, just be thinking about maybe some things that you want to sell and the processes, and we can kind of talk about that in a little bit in terms of how to set that up in BD, or maybe what we'll need to do on other services. So that's the cart funnel. It can be your membership. You can use some of these aspects in terms of your membership, or again, it could be something else that you're setting up to sell or to a product, service, whatever it is, and you can kind of use some of these techniques. Now, a lot of these that they're kind of talking about, like the order bump where you add something in before you buy it, that's not really in BD. You kind of need some actual other software, shopping cart software that can kind of do that stuff. But hopefully you guys get some of the techniques there. So you can either use these funnels in addition to your membership, or use some of those to add on the process that you use just with what's available in BD. So the question is, what can you use a cart funnel for, right? I mean, if you have a membership directory, what can I, as a directory owner, use a funnel for? And so you could sell online courses, you could sell event tickets, right? If you're doing some stuff for your niche, or whether it be a virtual or in reality, once we get back into doing real events, right? Hopefully soon, maybe you're selling tickets for that. Maybe you're selling your own services. Again, you have some experience in that stuff. And you're just basically selling your own time and your own processes and your own worth there, and selling, your services as a consultant or something like that. Maybe, or it's just other services like Rich doing a podcast video or a cover art or whatever services you provide. Maybe you're selling an info product, right? Maybe you have an ebook that you're selling that gives them a checklist on how to do something for your niche, or you're providing some useful information. Maybe it's a webinar with some information that you're selling for them to gain access to. Again, maybe or a course, which I already talked about. So maybe it's a product. Maybe it's a physical products. Maybe you just want to add a merch store into your directory there and just kind of sell some stuff. And you want to do a funnel for that. Maybe drop shipping. Maybe you have some stuff you buy in bulk and you're selling it for higher amounts and try to make some money there. I mean, hopefully you're seeing a trend here of selling, right? You can sell anything really, right? So selling, that's what a cart funnel is for. But generally, again, this kind of goes back to what makes you profitable, a successful company. It's not necessarily always about the directory, right? That's kind of the catalyst that can help you get the flow of traffic in there. But to be honest, if you're in a particular niche or you have something else of value, just think about these kind of things and what you can provide. Maybe it's an affiliate link to somebody else. Maybe it's not even your product. Maybe it's somebody else's course, somebody else's tickets, somebody else's services, somebody else's product. You're just selling that and getting a kickback. So again, it does not even have to be you. It can just be something in your niche that can help the consumers in your area that you'd be willing to, provide them. And again, you hopefully get some sort of fee in response to that. So this is the kind of stuff that makes people profitable and, can quit their day job and really utilize their directory to basically catalyze some of these other things and make a package product where people are going to keep coming back to your site because for your niche, you provide the full package, right, of stuff for them to do if they're into that, where they know they come back to you and they can get lots of different stuff, and you keep providing them with different things to do that. And we talked about this about a month ago when we're talking about getting people into your funnel, right? A lot of times people hit that maximum plateau that they can make with their directory because as many people are churning out of their membership as many people as they're bringing in every year, and their monetization plateaus. And the only way that you're ever really going to make any more money is if you continue to get the average cost or the average amount of money you get per customer and increase that over time by offering additional services that they didn't initially buy for. Like if you literally just have one membership level on their site and they buy it and they're in, you're not making anything ever again from that person other than obviously the residual income per month from that customer. But you want to be thinking about how can I grow my income from those same people. Again, you're not ripping them off. We talked about this before. You're providing additional services, and if they want it, they'll partake. And if they don't, they'll move on. But at least you're providing some additional stuff for them to buy. So this is all the stuff that you can do and think about doing. Now, some people ask, do people think I'm gonna sell to them all the time? They're gonna think I'm just pushing stuff at them all the time. But you got to realize people are used to purchase funnels, right? I mean, in reality, you do this every time you go shopping in a retail store. It looks like on the left-hand side there, right? Customer walks in the store, they look at the products, they grab the item and put it in their cart or their little shopping bag. They walk around, look at more stuff. They browse, right? They're clicking around through the store, metaphorically. And then at some point, the customer walks to the checkout. Now, some stores are really Gucci, like if anybody's been to the Amazon grocery stores. I went to one in Chicago here. It's pretty cool. You just put everything in your cart and you literally bag and you walk out of the store. I didn't even pay. It just knows what I took off the shelf and what I have in my bag, and it charged my credit card. But most people have to obviously go to the checkout, but they have to hand their credit card over, right? They pay and then they complete the purchase with the clerk and they walk out. Same thing. That's what an e-commerce funnel is. The cart funnel we just went over. They visit their store, your directory, right? They click around, they view some pages, they see some sales content, maybe some features. They then go to they add the item to your card or in this case, just click the button, right, to sign up for the membership. They go through that checkout process. And BD has that 2-stage process, right, where they add their email and password on the first thing, and then they go to the checkout page. But they give you the credit card information, they check out with the membership, and then they purchase it from you, right? So people are used to this process. And again, if you set it up as funnels, just remember that the people that are arriving at that funnel page or that landing page where you're trying to sell the product, they got there for a reason because they clicked on something or something was of interest from a link that somebody provided them. And they're already interested normally when they get to that top of the funnel for the page on whatever you're providing because they got there somehow. They just didn't stumble upon it by accident or look at another site and just magically appear on yours where they don't know what they're talking about. They got there by showing some initial interest. So they're used to these funnels. Obviously, they're on the page. They're looking to get sold to, right? Because that's why they went to their page, because something was of interest was offered to them, and usually that offer is in exchange for some either contact information or money, and people are just used to it. So if we have to look at an e-commerce conversion funnel, right, and we're saying now as we're doing this, the obvious thing that you're going to try to do for these funnels is try to optimize them. So when they get to the landing page or, they get to the checkout or people get into the checkout and not finishing up, are they churning or maybe they check out, but they don't come back or they're not buying anything additional from you. There's tons of different processes and software and opportunity here to make your processes more efficient. But this is basically what we're looking for is a conversion funnel, right? If everybody gets to your funnel or your web page, how many of those people are actually going to your join page, right? How many of those people on your join page are actually signing up? And you can try to optimize that funnel as best you can, but the end goal for any of these funnels is to get to that last visitor thing, get to the bottom of the funnel and get the purchase item and make sure that they get the purchase made. So sometimes that purchase, right, is not necessarily going to be the BD funnel. We talked about this. BD is just the membership, right? It does have the digital download, but it is only one item, and it does have some limitations on what you can do for the funnels. So if you're trying to sell any of those other things and you're trying to basically maximize the sales as you go through those funnels and do the upsells and the bumps, you may want to use some other type of software on your site to kind of effectively do that. Now, not everybody needs this, and so if you're not selling any other stuff right now, you may not need these. But as soon as you go through that list I showed you before, and you realize that you have other stuff to sell, either checklists or your own time or some other merchandise that you get, you may want to end up getting another shopping cart that can kind of dovetail in there, and you can kind of integrate them pretty good into your website. So here's just a few that some of the other BD owners use, some of the ones that I use. Samcart is one, has a good checkout page builder and a kind of a one-page funnel capability and is really popular. Very similar to ThriveCart in terms of feature set, and that's ThriveCart's one of the other bigger ones too, and one that I use. And they have bump offers, the one-click upsells, and those deep integration to some of those marketing platforms, so you can send automations and sell courses. And the one thing that they actually do good is selling subscription digital products, right? So we actually have some clients that have it set up that they can get subscriptions to particular post types. So they actually pay for a subscription in order to pay for a job posting, for example. And they actually utilize the ThriveCart checkout process instead of the BD one, just because it allows for subscription digital products, whereas BD is only a subscription membership. Plug and Paid is another up and coming one that I use, and we'll eventually start offering my clients as well. And they have an all-in-one e-commerce toolbox that can help anybody increase their revenue. It's fairly easy and have a lot of different capabilities inside that. And we can go look at any of these if anybody wants today to kind of look at them, but not necessarily doing that today. I'm just kind of throwing these out for you guys. Cart Fuel is another good one. It's kind of one of those tag-on ones where you can add the button right on any landing page and website. It's not like most of these that's what they are, where you just add a buy button, right, and it goes off-site to a cart, basically, where you can purchase those things. But they have a lot of good one-click upsell options using an embed feature where they're just embedding it maybe right into your directory. And then I don't use this one, but Equid, I know some of the other developers use this one, and it's pretty popular overseas, I think, other than the U.S. So that's another one that everybody could potentially use. I'm just going to kind of show you. We've gone over this before. I just want to show you an example one of these that use this process. And I think this is the one I used last week, but it's a good one because we kind of have all that stuff here on the page as soon as this loads. But if you go to my directorytoolkit.com, all the in the products and services, if you go to the Directory Toolkit products, all of these utilize ThriveCart. And so I'll show you this one once it loads here. I'm not sure why it's stalling. So let me see if that loads real quick. I'll come back to that and demo that in a second if it loads in the background. But those the demo I'll give is for ThriveCart. But these are all pretty much the same where you can do that. And the real reason you would want to use these is because they have those bumps, right? The upsell pages are built in there, just kind of automatically does it. And then it also has some other considerations that you want to think about when you're utilizing that. So here's some considerations that some of these other carts have as well. That kind of opens up some opportunities for sale, opportunities for your business potentially. A lot of them have split testing, so you can change different wording or different pricing. And different people, when the page loads or go to the funnel, will see different versions, so you can kind of know which one works better, and then get rid of the one that wasn't working as good and make a new split or new change and see if that new one sells even better. They have those bump offers, like we said, where you literally just click a button and it adds some money to the checkout. It's got the one-click upsell, so when it goes to the next page, it doesn't, quote, officially check out until they're done adding all their stuff into the cart. Again, BD does not do that. It just does it one at a time, both for the membership and for the products. Most of them are customizable, so you can kind of integrate it so it looks good inside of your directory. So you really don't know that they're off your page, and even if they do, it looks the same, right? So it's got the same branding. And then a lot of them, again, ThriveCart does this where after you check out, it will kick them back to your directory as well. So it's kind of it's not like they go off site and they're gone. They come back full circle to your directory as well. And so there's some advantages of that as well. They have that two-step order form, which they talked about in the video. And then there's some other advanced integrations, like it could be a marketing thing. It could be a pixel integration for Facebook. Could trigger some other type of autoresponders, right, after they order. Those kind of integrations that maybe some that are not offered in BD. And then most of the time they have affiliate models and JV capability, right? So BD does have some built-in affiliate stuff that you can add in the, I think, Share a Sale and Post Affiliate Pro. Or a myriad of other ones that use the Stripe integration of checking who purchased from Stripe, and you can kind of have affiliates utilizing those pieces. So there's a lot of stuff that you can use for your BD site, but a lot of these have those affiliate pieces built in. All right, and so here, let me go ahead and do this example here of some products. So actually, now that I realized I loaded the wrong page, so I'm going to go to the products and services here as the demo. So we'll let that load again. I'll come back to that. So the affiliate models built in, and the reason those can be good is because now you can get other people to sell your products for you. You're willing to give up some of the money that you're making on those products, right? Because they're bringing them in there is like no work off your back, because they brought the people in, and you're going to give them a kickback for those products. So some of those have those built in as well. So the one we're going to go over this week is the custom feature images. So this one, again, this is showing you an example of how you would do this on your BD site. It could be anything that you're trying to sell. This one is a one-time purchase, but has some additional stuff in there, and you want to try to upsell. So this is using the product post type, right, of everybody has in their particular directory, just where it adds a link to an external product, and they just go off, so you can do this, have your clients do this on your directory, or you can add your own stuff, right, to another shopping cart that you control for your own business. But so say they want to buy these featured images, they literally just click purchase now, and now they're going off from my directory toolkit for page, but now they're just going off there to buy that particular item. And I'll just demo what this one looks like just for some of the features that we talked about on here. I won't go into all the subsequent upsell pages on here, but there are some for this after it loads. But here's of the shopping cart, right? Here's the bump where we're talking about, like, hey, if you want 5 more images, you can get it for a one-time only offer, $20. They literally click the button there, and it adds that 5-image add-on there for an additional cost, and now their cart just went up, right? Just by that one click bump offer that you're providing on there. So it's just one example. And then after you complete the order there, it goes to the upsell page, where then they can get some additional changes. And then obviously after their dart, then they'll kick back normally to a thank you page. You can set it just like you can set up for those shopping carts. You can do the same thing for your products that you do or sell in BD for the digital downloads. You would just add a thank you page, and let me see if I have a thank you page to load here. Anyway, I just make a thank you page. I don't have one of my member banks here. Got to load anything, but anyway, you just kick them back to a thank you page for that product. But you can do that as well. Whatever you bought in there, you can send them to a thank you page. And I'll just show you on my web page builder here. I've got a bunch of them. After every product that I sell, you can add additional information for after they purchase that digital download, purchase that membership plan, right? That we talked about, that page that you can send somebody after they buy. You can send them to a particular thank you page. So thank you directory ebook, right? So that's a product here. Let me just pull that up real quick. Thank you, directory form. There we go. We'll just open that one up. But again, so you can just make a thank you page like this. You just make it in your editor, add that URL as the after purchase thing, either after your membership sign up or after the digital download purchase. And then they can go to that page that just thanks them. Again, you can use this as an upsell page if you want, or just additional information. And so this is what typical when I have it goes back to my directory as a thank you, and then I tell them kind of what to expect next after their purchase. And then one of the other things that you can do for the bottom of the funnel, basically, if they get to a certain page and you want to try to get them to not leave, right? There's a bunch of software that can do this, and I'll show you how to do this on your BD site as well. But they have these exit intent pop-ups, right? Or some other software that as you're about to, you're in the cart, right? You're going to buy, or maybe your join page, and they're going to close their browser or go to some other site because they're like, I don't think that's for me. And as you mouse out of the page, I'm sure everybody has seen one of these. You get this, like, wait, don't leave before you read this. For a limited time, we're going to double your trial. And then you just have a couple buttons here that they can click, and it just brings them back into the fold. Maybe they didn't get to the join page yet, and you can convince them to click the yes button on here. Now they are going to your join page because you enticed them with some a special offer. Here's another one, right? Leave now and you're going to regret it. What, you want to save time on your social media? Let's start your free day trial here, and you can have whatever images you want there. Just say, normally it'd only be 30 days. We're going to give you 90 days for free. And now this button maybe takes them to a membership level that had a longer trial than the normal ones that are linked to on your join page. So maybe you just make a new membership plan in your BD site for a 90-day trial, vice the 30-day trial. And the only way that they're going to get to that 90-day free trial is by clicking that button on that pop-up. It could be another price too, right? Maybe it's a cheaper price. Maybe you can offer them a coupon, or maybe it's just directly to a new price. They don't even need a coupon. That they're just linking to a plan pricing with another membership level with another pricing that they can't get to unless they click that button off from the pop-up. And here's another one, right? You can add a form in there where maybe you get their email address, right? You don't necessarily want them to purchase. Maybe they shown that they got to the join page and they didn't want to buy. Now you're just trying to get some contact information from them, and you're just asking for their email address and to send them something of value. Maybe it's your a feature page. You're like, hey, before you go, maybe not realizing what we have to offer, why don't you just add your email address here, and we'll send you the full feature list, and you can look at it and come back if we're a right fit, whatever it is. And so I'm going to show you that today in BD as well here. And so here's my process for the BD thing, exit intent modal. You're going to create an exit intent widget, and then you're going to add it to the desired page. So that's my two-step process. I'll show you guys how to do that here in a second for the BD directory. So let's go. I'm gonna provide this code to you guys so you guys can see this, but I'm gonna demo this on how this would work for you guys. So what you would want to do is in the toolbox widget manager. What you're gonna want to do is to add a pop-up exit intent widget. I'm gonna post the stuff, but you guys can see it on the screen. But you just name it whatever you want. Custom exit intent modal. It's fairly simple. There's a lot of pop-ups normally on your website. There's one for the newsletter at the bottom. Like if you click the subscribe to newsletter, it's one of these pop-ups. But this is what the code is. The HTML coding. What you want to look for here, the important stuff here is the header, like the save now header, and then the body. Get 30% off with coupon code SAVE30. And then I'm just going to make this say close here. We'll save that. All right, and then there's some JavaScript in here that makes the magic happen. But the one of the other items you want to think about here is this number here, and that's the number of times it's going to let you basically open the pop-up and close it out. So if you have it as 1, it's only going to pop up once. If they close out and they try to leave again, it's not going to pop up. But that's what that number is. So just that code and the JavaScript code is all it is. And then what you're going to want to do is go ahead and copy that widget right there with all that stuff in there. And what all you're going to do is on whatever page that you want that to pop up on. And so we're going to, you can do that on your join page. You can make that whatever you want. We're going to do a demo page here, and I think I've got one here already. So demo exit intent, right? So you just make a new page and literally just paste that widget code in there and save. That's all you have to do. Looks like you went to the second page there. Let me type in exit here. So it pulls it up here. It's a really good search toolbar here. It'll automatically filter out. So that's the exit intent widget. And so once we add that widget, now this could be your join page. Literally just put that widget code anywhere in the page. It's just not going to, you're not going to see it until, it's rendered or whatever. But you can put that right in your join page. But what it'll look like on there, it'll look like that. As soon as I try to go to leave the website, it pops up with my save now, get 30% off coupon code widget, right? And now they could close that out. But if I go to leave the page again, it would pop up if I had that saved as multiple times. And I think I left it at 1. Oh, no, I didn't. So there we go. There's the pop-up again. So I'll go ahead and add that in there. But that's just another way, something you can do in BD, just kind of the tip of the day there, that you can kind of add that similar stuff to try to keep them in the fold there. But that's some techniques that are generally used by some of those carts as well. And let me go back to the slides. I think that's it. Does anybody have any questions on that? Just on the general funnel or the pop-up thing here? Let me go grab the code here for that, and I'll put that in the screen here. Rich, Toby, any questions on that?
I don't see the code in there yet, but did you put the code in the?
Yeah, I didn't. I'm doing it right now.
Okay. Well, while you're doing that is
there you go.
So I see it, but from what I saw, the pop-up, it seemed like just a message. It wasn't a clickable link to direct them anywhere. You add that paragraph right there, get 30%. Just put whatever HTML code you want in there. You could have images, form, a link, video, right? Oh, okay. Because I would think most of the sites that I've kind of experienced is like it makes it a hyperlink. So when you hover to exit and then you click, it would direct you to wherever the call to action would be.
Yeah, I kind of dumbed it down. I didn't take too much time by setting it up today. You would just what I would recommend is make anything like you would on the normal website page, the HTML. Make it look like you want with buttons and links or whatever. Just grab that HTML code and then just paste that in that paragraph right there in the body. But you can make it look exactly like those images I showed you there, right? Just by editing the code.
Yes, I do have some questions, unless Toby or somebody else, because I might be multifaceted or rapid fire questions, but
fire away.
Okay, so I got that Thrive card. I didn't realize that because we can't really do a traditional plugin like you can on WordPress. So these would be kind of like embedded codes then.
You mean for the shopping cart, or what do you mean by embedded codes?
For Thrive cart or some of these other things you talked about, but mainly Thrive cart. If we did, because typically they call them a plugin for WordPress. So these, there's not really a plugin feature per se by that term, but it's just the code or the script.
Yeah, you're literally just the one I'm doing. You literally just link the shopping cart checkout page URL and just put it in the product link in your BD site, and it just links to the checkout. Now you can actually embed a lot of these in the site, and so we have a couple clients that have that on their BD site, and they just the Thrive cart is inside of their directory, and you just buy it inside of your page.
and I kind of like to keep it in there, much like we're working on a merch store. And believe it or not, it's difficult to find these merch stores that that won't provide an embedded code to keep your merch store products right on your website. Make a purchase. I found one. It's kind of a little antiquated. I mean, the better ones are like Teespring and what's the other one that we've been using?
Yeah, obviously that's geared towards T-shirts normally, I think, right? But,
T-shirt, they've expanded quite a bit. There's another one similar to Teespring, but T something else. And then there's one, but the one I think I have on Brilliant Directories, but I don't have it as a as an active link. It's just in my drafts or whatever. But it's a little antiquated. But the point is, they can literally stay on the site. It's called Cotton Cart.
Right.
Cotton Cart, and they can literally stay on the site. I'm trying to think if I have.
You said Cotton Cart.
Yeah, but actually, look at it in real time.
Well, that sounds like a T-shirt place too. But
let me see if I have it. I think I already created the page. I just don't have it, activated or as a tab. But yeah, actually go to just add this at the end of Podcasters Directory, and you can see it in real time. So just Podcasters Directory /merch. So like for our merch store, and it's the only one of. And I went
that's
through.
That's everybody's favorite word nowadays, merch.
Yeah, merch. Yeah. But so like I said, I went through Spreadshirt is a very robust platform, and that's the one we've been using like for the Podcast World Tour and some other platforms. But they won't let you put, like an embedded code. It just puts a link and then it sends your website visitor off your site, which is the very last thing you want to have happen. They go off your site and they start purchasing from the merch store, or they're shopping around like on Amazon. They put a coffee cup in a T-shirt and they never buy it. Meanwhile, they've left your site. So This one is Cotton Cart, like a cotton T-shirt. And yeah, your internet must be a challenge up there because mine's loading really quick.
Yeah, I think because I'm streaming from my computer to get
for the live
maybe
feed or whatever.
Maybe I should not have 800 tabs open next time.
Yeah,
I
had to do the same thing
faster.
When I was on the Hotbit event yesterday, I had to close most of all my tabs or whatever, and then load it for that. But so this is what once it loads, it gives kind of the optics or visual. What I would like to see, like for a Thrive card or whatever widget we use, so that they can make the purchase without leaving the website. But I also heard from you, what I understood is once they purchase something on Thrive card or whatever, you can reroute them, or the close button would reroute them back to whatever page on your site.
Yeah, so I equate it to a boomerang. Like they're leaving my site, but they're not because they're coming back. It's a boomerang. There's nowhere else to click. They either buy and they come, or they hit the back button. They're not going anywhere. They're not shopping on Amazon or something. It's a boomerang. They come right back to the site. So I don't really feel like that setup. It loses them because they leave to go pay, but they come right back because it can steer them wherever I want. So
yeah.
And then Shopify, I know there's somebody else.
Yeah,
this one's loading too. But
Shopify, though, you have to do the distribution on your part. Oh, it's loading. Is it loading now or no? The site.
Well, this is. I was some up a shopping cart. This was a Shopify execution.
Yeah, but Shopify, as I understand it, but they don't do the distribution for you. You have to warehouse and ship and do all the shipping. It's your there it is. Okay. So this is and what's cool is if you navigate around, so not only is it displaying on and I carried it over from Pro Business Channel, that's why it has that branding on there. But but I customized the Podcasters Directory. We got hoodies, we got t-shirts, we got sweatshirts, women's shirts, coffee mug, and again, this is just a work in progress. So if I like the way it's working, I'll take obviously the PBC Pro Business Channel branding off there and create a dedicated, because this is actually from our Pro Business Channel account for Cotton Cart, And so, just kind of beta testing this, but if I like it, I'll create another one just for the directory. But go to make a purchase and notice, like, you won't leave the site and you can plug in your credit card, because I ordered a coffee mug from here the other day just to test it out.
Right.
So, and notice you haven't left Podcasted directory, but obviously it gives maintains the branding of Powered by Cotton Cart. But Claire can maybe help me too. But what I understand of Shopify, you're selling your own widgets and you're shipping your own widgets. They don't do any shipping distribution.
Yeah. I mean, that's the difference between.
But see,
you may have. That's a good point on the list of stuff I had. Most of that's like stuff you're selling, right? But if you want a merch store where you have a printer, they're going to make the T-shirts and print your logo. You probably need one that's set up to obviously make the merchandise and then drop ship it from their place, right? As opposed to you.
So you'll notice, like, you're still on my home page, and then you've selected the item. You see the total, and obviously you fill in all your payment information. But you're in a shopping cart within my site, and then if you scroll down, you'll see the payment options. By default, they have it set up for PayPal, which links to my PayPal account, right, for the directory. But if they want to pay with a credit card, they'll pay through Stripe. But it's actually the Stripe account for Cotton Cart. It's not my Stripe account. And then they just release the profit. So if you spent $25 or whatever, I might get 15 of that or something, But no warehousing, no shipping, and they handle all the customer support, the whole 9 yards. And if you hit the pay now, you've never left my site and you're on my site. And then if you change your mind, you go, I don't want to buy something. Now I'm down on my footer. My footer site. I want to enjoy the newsletter. I want to go back to the home page.
Yeah, so I mean, you can do that with most of the other shopping carts or whatever. They can embed in the site as well, but obviously, you have to pick your shopping cart or what makes sense for your use case, I guess.
But here's the misnomer or go ahead.
Good.
Sorry,
Toby.
There are other ones that you can use within Shopify. I started off doing Shopify a couple of years ago, and I ditched it for BD instead. But there are others like 215, spelt the words 2 and 15, two separate words, and then Ink Threadable is another one. They both allow you to do your merch and stay within your own site. And they do.
And we may do this on another topic set, because everybody. I know there's a lot of people that want to set up some merch and stuff for their site or whatever. And obviously, BD doesn't have a shopping cart or obviously merchandise creation. But
what was Toby? What was the second site? You said 215, and then what was the other one?
I'll put it in.
It's right here. Incredible. It looks like a UK.
Ink Threadable is the second one, and it's one word.
It's .co.uk though. It's not .com.
Oh, it's dot.
And 215,
UK.
like TWO 15.
I didn't get that one either. UK. Inkthreadable.uk.
No, .co.uk.
.co. Yeah, because actually, what am I doing?
You probably want to use one that's inside of your country, though. This probably makes sense for Toby, and it probably doesn't make sense for. Usually, for shipping, it's going to just be outrageous for a coffee cup.
Yeah, that was the other challenge with Cotton Cart. Cotton Cart is actually based out of the UK or somewhere, and so maybe it's kind of a European thing as far as the thing, because I've gone through a ton of these merch stores, and they don't they really don't put an embedded code on your site, and because if you search the subject embedded code and you ask through customer support, and they say, the big ones, they want you to go to their site and have the customer purchase there.
Yeah, I
didn't get the 215 either. Like I spelled it the same way.
It's 215.co.uk. So again, that's the same entry. Yeah. So I mean, we can have a merch item there. I mean, the real key is to what you're trying to sell it, that kind of stuff. Whether you're selling it selling your stuff. The clients, usually what people want is to be able to put on their stuff and sell their stuff, right? As a merchant market. The other one is the drop shipping thing, different dimensions.
Yeah. So back to more of the topic at hand about the shopping cart. So if we use like ThriveCart, and they purchase, we would set up a Stripe account with ThriveCart, or because it doesn't integrate with BD in our current, it wouldn't go through BD as far as our.
You just use the same Stripe account you have, and you just you can either use the same credentials or make new credentials for, and then put your Stripe account in there.
Okay.
The access key.
And then
So it'll dump in the same pot of money, right, from your BD site and your ThriveCart. It goes in the same pot because it's just using a different entry, window for.
Yeah, it'd go into the same Stripe account, but it wouldn't represent obviously in our dashboard for BD as far as volume of money.
Oh, right, correct, yeah.
Right. Okay. Now the more interesting question is at the opening of the webinar here, you were talking about redirecting people obviously from when they because one of my challenges I've been having is that we have 3 membership platforms, the first being a Rising Star for free, and everybody's signing up for that one obviously, and a finite number of people on their first visit to the website are opting to jump ahead and get right to the paid plans, but that's a very small amount, and we need to obviously correct that. The intent is as we build almost like a sales or a funnel of leads as our entry level for free, our Rising Star, then we can convert them down the road. But that can present, can be problematic, So what I liked when you open is that we maybe have them sign up as a free member. Right now, we're just redirecting them back to the dashboard. And actually, Ryan, I don't know if you can look at our dashboard. I made some pretty major changes. When a person, I convert them from the initial dashboard with a video, a tutorial that Alex did, walking through how to update their dashboard to that 100% mark.
Yeah, I think I saw that. I'm not logged in as anybody on yours right now, so I'd have to log on mine real quick.
Yeah, I can give you the login in a second.
But you just have the video there.
The video, but what happens is when they watch the video and they do the 4 buttons and they get their dashboard 100%, I convert their membership plan to a new dashboard that has some upsell and a whole new dashboard presentation, takes out that video. But my point being is,
how do you know that they have their model complete?
I have to kind of just manually, look at it. Like if you log into my admin, you'll see I created one as a Rising Star new, and then once I see that they're completed their dashboard, then I replace their membership plan with a Rising Star. It's not very scalable, and I've got to figure out a more automated way to do that. But for right now, that's what I'm doing. I don't know if it's helpful or necessary if you look at that, because my main question is actually just click on, like you're going to buy, get started to buy one of the membership plans. Because what I'm visualizing is what I'm understanding in the webinar, what you're saying you could do is you could have just one instead of 3 membership plans, is have just join now, or, and only have the free option, the Rising Star. And once they fill in the blanks, then instead of routing them back to the dashboard, you'd route them to an upsell page, is what I was kind of hearing, understanding. So, because this is not buyer confusion, but they've got to look at these membership plans, and they've got to make a decision. Yeah, am I going to be a Rising Star for free, or should I choose the All Star or the Rock Star? Now I've got to consider all these variables. I'm even considering taking out the 30-day, the trial periods, because people are kind of thinking, well, I'm going to be dinged down the road, I'm going to forget about it, right? So just tell them, do you want to be a free plan, or do you want to join on a paid level and get all these other perks? Well, what I'm liking about this webinar is we replace this entire, and I'll be quiet here in a second and see your thought process on this. But I'm thinking, what if we just had a one-page link, the Rising Star, or we don't even call it, just join now kind of thing. And once they join and they fill out the form, then they get routed to an upsell page. Hey, welcome aboard for the next 24 hours, and do that countdown clock for the next 4 hours. You can upgrade to one of our other paid plans. I mean, is that what kind of the video from ClickFunnels was talking about? What you're talking about?
Yeah,
that's exactly what you can do.
Rich, over the weekend, I signed up to a piece of software which was going to cost next to nothing, and there was only one sign up to it. Get it now, access now, or something.
Right.
And within 30 seconds before going to pay, having paid, I then got offered an upgraded version. The upgraded version for, again, knockdown price, of which I did. And after I did that, I then got offered the agency version, which I didn't do, but I did do the first two.
Wow.
And you just went through, and it was after I'd done the payment. So I did the first payment, and then because they got my card and my details, you didn't need to fill anything else in afterwards.
So there's all sorts of them. So here's an example of of a sales page, a funnel page, right? Where this guy's selling these keto diet samples, right? And he's not even offering his subscription for the product, right? His landing page. He's got a video that explains it, kind of gives a brief overview of some of the advantages, and then it's he's just getting them in the door by like free, and they have to pay the shipping and handling, right? Which is even down here real small, but they don't have to make a decision. Just like I watch the video and I see all these good benefits, and they're like, yeah, I want to try the free samples, right? And so when you click on that to order that, right, it's now you're just it has some other questions here that maybe tells you which page you're going to next. There's some different funnel techniques, right? But so that's just one. But if you roll past that and you don't hit the I want it now, well, then you keep reading about the nutrition info, some of the other product testimonials, right, from people who've got it before. And then, further down the page, you're going to see that same green button again. Like they're going to be I want to buy it now after I read all the nutrition and the testimonial. I got real live book, people of Instagram that have got the stuff and, what it did to their things. And okay, I'm back to my free samples again. Yep. I want the free samples. Oh, wait, I have some questions. Oh, it's, money back guarantee, anyway. So then on the next page, you have an upsell or whatever. And then here's another, again, just an example. Now it's a different landing page. Now it's not the subscription thing or the free samples of just general keto stuff. Now he's got, and this is an Air Force guy we did after he retired or whatever. So, but now this page, it's a funnel page, but now it's focusing on selling the fudge keto, like the snack stuff. So he's got the fudge samples, and again, just I want to try the fudge, get my free fudge samples. But again, he's paying for shipping and handling. But again, same thing, but now it's a different product, right, or a different product level. Maybe you have a focus page like this that just sells the certain membership levels, or the free. You just get them in the door with a free one, and then you have subsequent ones.
Right.
One of the, if you guys want to, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say two questions real quick. One, I don't know if Toby, you were willing to share that website link just to kind of see that process from that software. But also, Ryan, do you have a BD client that is, we could see like a membership plan kind of situation that they've already created, or I'd be willing to be the test dummy for that or as well, but. Because I like this whole process, because I think that's the buyer experience that's currently, what is working. And I think kind of the three membership plans, A, B, and C, Gold, Silver, Platinum, is kind of a little bit dated, or in terms of conversion. And because I can see where they would just register as a member for free, and then I route them to the two other plans to upgrade, but I've already got it, because I don't want to eliminate the free option, because that becomes our sales funnel, right? That becomes our lead, if you will. But
so I've added this into the chat bot here for people live. But just if you go to MrBookmarks.com, this has a lot of these software things with all these funnels in here, and these are good things to just go take a look at to go see the one-time offers 1 through 4 or whatever. And so just as an example here, this is kind of what he's talking about. If you just go to this video site maker, this is a software, and they've got all the different links in here for the one-time. The most of these are in here to see all these different ones in here. So here's all the one-time offer, the plus version, the pro version, the done for you service, and the reseller, right? So you may this one's usually the front end is like $37, something really cheap, and then each one of these goes up. Like this is $69, this is $99.
right.
There's like $4.99, right, for a reseller thing. But each one of these, if you click through here on the Mr. Bookmarks thing, you can see all of the direct links to each page without actually having to pay for it. And so it's kind of cool. So you can kind of, I'll just say, you're never going to see that unless you buy through it. But these are just general websites, so they're going to load. Some of them will eventually, I think, get smart enough to know, like BD is actually smarter than most of these because it knows whether you purchase something, right, or whether you're in a certain membership level and won't show it to you unless you've already purchased or logged in or whatever. But so if you go to that website, there's just a myriad of softwares, but this is just an example as it loads or whatever. So you can kind of see that here's the reseller page and then the original offer. But they usually have videos. They'll have all the different stages. And man, my internet's slow today.
Yeah,
but it'll eventually load.
Tabs open like me.
For yours, but it kind of shows you.
Okay.
So here you go. So here's the new WordPress plugin, right? They got a video on there, and they just like get it right now. So kind of these all generally have the same thing, countdown, going to get it, the early bird pricing. So I'd like to get examples of maybe how to style these. And again, this isn't necessarily your join page or
massive with this, getting free traffic like this. And earning profit.
Yeah, the countdown timer is key. I know you've added that to our site, and I can see us like just redirected them after they sign up for free instead of their dashboard, just going to an upsell page with adding that timer in there, because there's another site that does a really good job at this. Like Toby was talking about his software site. There's a website. There's a like competitor WordPress hosting platform, what do you want to call it, but site 123, and you can sign up to create a page, kind of like Squarespace or Wix for free. So you get the free with some limited options, but they start this countdown clock every time you log into your dashboard or whatever, or your site. They have like, for the next 72 hours, you can get an annual membership for like 75% off or something crazy, right? And then every time it keeps, down 48 hours, 20 hours kind of thing. It's very automated, very sophisticated. But I mean, I think version 1.0, correct me if I'm wrong, but I see all these impressive, widgets, all these moving parts, but can it be just as simple as, for right now, we can just go to, like at the opening of your seminar or your webinar, you said, don't direct them to the homepage, just direct them to whatever, create another web, just take our 3 pricing tables and just put, one pricing, for like the all-star, so then you have to make a decision, and then they buy all-star. I don't know how we can offer them to convert to Rockstar, but
yeah, and again, you may, as people do this stuff, your main join page, maybe you send out some targeted emails to people that are interested in, or maybe you're on a Facebook group of some other podcasters, and you kind of just send out a link and that link goes to your that targeted sales page, or an email goes out to some people and they get that, and then that's how you get into the A/B testing, right? And you can kind of, maybe it's not your normal join page, but it's another page that's live and works, but they have to get that link in order to do that, and you can kind of test out the conversion rate on that stuff and to see how it's working. And one of the things I wanted to real quick, I'm going to go over today, I just want to throw out, and I think I showed you this before, Rich, but I just want to kind of go over the directory simulator here and kind of show you what you could eventually do, when you're starting to graph out how your processes are going in terms of seeing, which ones are working good, or change your assumptions on sales pages, or like what emails are coming from what. Just kind of visualize what you're doing. So here's an example of I'm getting certain I have to log in again. Getting certain people in here on the web page from, and getting a certain number of people going to the main page, and then a certain number of those are actually getting past that to the checkout page. And let me log in here real quick.
Now this is a simulator, but it doesn't plug in, to our site or BD to run the analytics.
This is more of the. This is for you to visualize what you're doing. And actually, I got a call in a couple minutes here at our 2-hour point. So just to give you a heads up, I'm gonna have to bolt here in about 5 minutes just for you guys. Okay. But so this would be more of a simulation of how it works, right? And you can kind of draw up in line of how you're going to design it, maybe what you set up or what you haven't set up, different emails are coming from where, change the assumptions, maybe. So
it's kind of like if this, then what kind of thing? So
yeah, exactly. So after this will load, I'll kind of show you guys. But so, try to get over here. There we go. So let's say I have a 1,000 people from Google Ads, right? That's coming in there. It's going to the sales page. Let's say that on that sales page I get 5% sales conversion, right? Or let's say 25% of the people go from the sales page, and I get 25% of the people to be able to get to the next the checkout page, right? So 25% of the people get to the order form. Let's say 20% of the people that get to the order form actually check out. For the other 80%, I'm going to give them that pop-up right as they're leaving to try to get them on the page. And let's say 10% of those people, I get them back to the page, right? To actually fill out. And then maybe, let's say, I'll drag the email over here. Let's say maybe for that, the email. Oops, I don't know why it's selecting everything. There we go. So let's say maybe for the 80% that go off from here, right? Maybe I send them an email, and now of those people that get the email, maybe I get, again, 5% of those people that get the email go back and actually check out, right? So you can kind of set up all these things that you're setting up for the.
You plug in your traffic stats, and it's going to project, give you forecasting of what
right, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's say I'm done with that, and so I get 10% of there, and then maybe, and so after the order form, maybe 20% go to the upsell page, and let's say that a certain number of those percentage upsells, buy the upsell or whatever, and that upsell has a particular price. But once you're done with that, then you just run the simulation, right, for your traffic costs, how much the Google AdSense is costing you, all your conversion rate percentages or whatever, and it'll actually tell you your monthly profit's going to be $468, right, out of this funnel. because I've made 497, but I've used some of merchant fees and some other stuff from Stripe and stuff like that. So you can set all that stuff up in here, and it basically does a simulator. And now you can kind of see, what you are getting if you plug in your real numbers,
Right.
or you can kind of see what part of the funnel is going to help you out, convert a little bit better. So,
And what is this site as far as, is there a cost for subscription or what? How does this work? Or
yeah, it's normally $37 a month, and I don't have it ready yet, but I'm gonna once I get all my my memberships done for my directory toolkit, I'm gonna include that in for everybody as just for free as part of the membership. So I'll have this included so everybody will be able to use that.
nice.
But it's kind of set up for the all that different stuff where you can do phone, maybe a phone call, maybe a chat bot. Where's the chat bot? You get some sales from chat bot and assumptions, webinars. All the stuff is kind of drag and drop. You make it in here. You can zoom in and out. Just kind of see. You make a huge big funnel. So, hey, I gotta run today for guys. I'm kind of stuck at the 2 hours here for this week. So thanks for showing up. I'll have this up on the replay again for directoryvideos.com. And again, just come with some questions for next week, and we can kind of maybe deep dive a little bit more into the simulator for the funnels, and we'll go over another type here and how we can use that for your directory next week. So thanks, guys.
Absolutely. See ya. Go Tampa Bay.
I got that on the recording. See you guys.
Nice.